Welcome to Dollars and Cents, hosted by Sanjiv Gupta CPA. Dollars and Cents is the show about growing more of what you are making, saving more of what you are growing, and making more of what you are growing and saving in the most sensible and tax-efficient manner possible. Feel free to call into our studio number to be live on air with your questions. Call 408-912-5038. That's 408-912-5038. 5038. And here is your host of Dollars and Cents, Sanjiv Gupta CPA.
Good evening, friends. This is your own CPA, Sanjiv Gupta CPA. Delta variant cases are on the rise in California and other parts of US. The numbers are crossing 50,000. 7 Bay Area counties, including Alameda, have recommended wearing masks. I will personally recommend each and every one of us in the Bay Area to come back to the original practices that we did during the COVID scenario last year to keep ourselves and everyone surrounding us safe and healthy. It's very important that we observe all those rules and regulations, wearing the mask, keeping safe distances, getting vaccinated as soon as possible. Don't take the risk of not getting vaccinated and just saying that, hey, this disease will not hurt me. This is like bogus. This is like everything is all made up or is a media hike. No, I've seen people getting affected with Delta variant, even if they are vaccinated in the Bay Area. So, folks, I will suggest each one of you who's listening to me, to my show, please be careful, keep wearing mask, maintain the safe distances. By the way, Delta variant is likely to create a sloppy stocks market this summer. We can see this stock market going up and down. Last Monday it was down and came back up. Cryptocurrencies are also doing the same thing. So we have to really, really be careful in the stock market as well, because ups and downs are always there in the stock market. That's why they are known as stock market. People made a lot of money last year in the stock market. Most people made a lot of money because there's always the things of the stock market going up and up. But this year, people have lost a lot of money as well. So just be careful when you're investing in stock market. You really have to be educated about what you're doing, when are you doing. Always have an exit policy when you play in the stock market. By the way, in our dollar update today, we came to know today that one US airline ranked among the 10 best in the world. And that airline, you have a guess, is United Airlines. What about others? Hawaiian Airlines was ranked number 16. Alaska was ranked number 17, and Delta Airlines was ranked number 19. There's no mention in the top 20 about our Southwest Airlines and other airlines, which we think they can make up those grades. But it's only number 8 in the world is United Airlines. You know the best airline is Qatar Airways. Of course, Qatar Airways is the best airline, which I've gone there, which I've flown those airlines. That's very good. Air New Zealand is the second one, and third one is Singapore Airlines. Emirates is number 5. So if you're trying to fly, again, I'm saying just observe all those rules and regulations, and still you want to fly and go to places, European countries and India and whatnot, just pick the right airlines which maintain all those protocols and enforce it properly for the safety of the travelers and everybody inside the plane and outside. This is Sanjiv Gupta CPA giving the show today, Dollars and Cents. It's on air every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Listeners, if you have any tax question, this is the time to connect with me on air. The studio lines are open. Studio number is 408-912-5038. 408-912-5038. The studio numbers again is 408-912-5038. My firm, Sanjiv Gupta CPA, has offices in Fremont, Sunnyvale, and Pleasanton. And we have a team of experienced CPAs, CAs, EAs, about 25 people working in all these 3 offices, and experienced accounting professionals who are not only well knowledgeable, well versed in US tax rules and regulations, but also with Indian tax rules and regulations. My staff speak multiple languages, and we are available all year round. Not those CPA firms, not those tax professionals who just hire people during a tax season, and after that they are just run away. They no more they're not existent anymore. Myself, not only a CPA, but an experienced chartered accountant. I've been practicing in India for 12 years before coming to US. And we really helped all our clients, particularly in COVID scenarios, to deal with all kinds of complexities when it comes to PPP1, PPP2, COVID relief grants, city grants, county grants, and now the famous ERC, which is employee retention credit. A lot of people are looking for, and there's a good money on the table. If you're not doing that, that's something you need to look into. Connect with your tax professional, make sure that is done right. My website is sanjivcpa.com, SANJIV, sanjivcpa.com, SANJIVCPA.com. It contains up-to-date tax and financial information which impacts every individual bottom lines. So if you're looking for kind of information on something which is going to affect your bottom line, or looking for kind of information on sending money to India, getting a property sold in India, or getting up to date information what's happening here in the US with the Biden tax rules, President Biden tax rules, a lot of things are going to be change. You must have your eyes glued to the TV sets on what is happening with the infrastructure plans, tax plans, and other things, which is happening in the Congress. We don't know what's going to happen very soon. Uh, uh, but we are keeping our fingers crossed, and hopefully we'll get something to know what is in it for us when it comes to taxes. We have going to have a webinar on August 21st. August 21st, we have a webinar on mid-year tax planning. Earlier it was scheduled on July 17th. We have to push the date to August 21st. The reason for that is we are still waiting for the Congress to do something for this year, because the tax plans might change a lot of things for this year and the years going forward when it relates to capital gains taxes, when it relates to unemployment taxes, and when it relates to business taxes. What about qualified business income deduction? What about 179 deductions, bonus depreciation for business owners? So a lot of things are there which are going to impact every person financial strategy for the year. So hopefully we'll get something by the end of this month, if not at least by first week or second week of August, so that we can share with all the participants who are going to enroll for this upcoming webinar on August 21st, which the title is Mid-Year Tax Planning. The way to register for this webinar is go to my website, sanjivcpa.com, SANJIVCPA.com, and you can register there. I have a caller here. Let me take this call. Good evening, this is Sanjiv Gupta CPA.
Hello, Sanjeevji. This is Shreyas. One question for you. I filed my federal return on 15th of May, and I haven't received my check for the refund. Is there something that I can do to find out where it is stuck?
Yes. So this question which is affecting a lot of people looking to get refunds. In one of my show, I covered this that IRS is behind about 35 million refunds are there, which needs to be still processed by the IRS. So they are still working on it. It's not good to call the IRS, keep calling the IRS about a refund, or going on the online irs.gov and see get my refund or where's my refund, because the tool there just says it's under process and other things. I will suggest you hold on for at least a month. I will say their machinery is up to date running, and they're coming up and catching up on those refunds. You have to remember, IRS has been bombarded with lot of updates and lot of tax rules and regulations. Now they are working for advanced child tax credit and also on ERC. So it's a lot of work for them. But they have not lost their way. They are still working on those refunds. So I will suggest wait till the month of July, end of July. Maybe you can call them in the first week of August. Hopefully by first week of August, you will see this refund in your bank account. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate for the call. Caller, if you have any questions, listeners, you can definitely call. The studio lines are open, 408-912-5038. 408-912-5038. Let's go to our important discussion on our dollar topic of the show, which is about the S Corporation and LLC. We have been talking about this for the last few shows. We covered W2 versus 1099s, then we covered 1099 versus S corporation. Then we covered S corporation versus LLC. Today, I'm going to go more into details about where to form these entities. A lot of people get confused. They say, "Oh, I get to know to form in Delaware. Delaware is the way to go." Everywhere I read the blog and everywhere on internet, even my attorney says, "Go ahead and form in Delaware." So my reply to those questions is, it's not where you form the entity. It's important that you form the entity in the state in which you're working or setting up that business. You should not form the entity in a state in which you're not going to be present. Of course, Delaware is an important state. I will come to that point little later. I have a caller here. Let me take this call. Good evening, this is Sanjiv Gupta CPA.
Good evening, Sanjiv. I have a question regarding like a tax deduction on rental property mortgage interest.
Go ahead with the question. That's a very important question. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so if I have a primary residence which I convert and from which I have taken cash out, and then if I convert that property into a rental property, can I deduct the entire interest payment of that mortgage which I am repaying for that property, or only, I don't know how it works basically?
First of all, I should really appreciate what you've done. People should look into that way of cashing out their equity in the home. That's very important way of financing the investment because it's a cheap rate, and using that cash out not for investment stock market, not for sending money to India, but for investing in a real estate. You invested in that money from real estate to real estate. So definitely cash out refinance did help you in that way of investment in real estate. But the interest that you're going to pay on that amount, refinanced amount of loan, it gets fully deductible against rental income. So there's no limitation on the amount of interest that you can deduct on the loan, which is used for buying which is used for renting or doing a rental property or buying a rental property. So there's no limitation on that one. In fact, there's no limitation on property taxes for rental property like we have for residential primary home. So you can deduct all those things. All the interest will be fully deductible against rental income. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. That's really an important question. A lot of people have those questions when it comes to renting the primary home, partly renting the primary home, 2 out of 5 rules for primary home exclusion. What about rental property expenses, depreciation? All those things are there. If you are one of those listeners who have those questions, is this a time to connect with CPA on air? It's Sanjiv Gupta here doing the show. The studio lines are open. 408-912-5038. 408-912-5038 is the studio lines. So when I'm talking to that, I was talking about S corporation LLCs. I was talking about the state in which you're incorporating. So Delaware do have an important, I would say, existence about when it comes to incorporating a business there, but you have to understand this Delaware's concept is meant for companies who are going to go big. Means this company might be looking for big investor money, angel investors, and other Series A, Series B, Series C, whatever the series are, and also they might be looking for getting listed in the stock market. So for those, it makes sense to form in Delaware. Or it can be a company from outside US, maybe an Indian entity you want to set up a corporation here to do business. By the way, a lot of companies are coming from India and other countries to set up business there. Of course, US is a big market, which we can see the inflation is rising up. Federal Reserve Chairman is not worried about inflation. They say it's only going to be short term only. Don't worry, the inflation is going to be. We are going to be okay with that inflation. We have a caller here. Let me take this call. Good evening, this is Sanjiv Gupta CPA.
Hi, this is Bhagwati calling. So I'm just wondering if somebody has some like real estate bought in India long back, how we can report that here and how we can deal with those kind of things.
So is this real estate rented out or is just kept vacant?
Just some plot, basically, some land we bought long back. It's on our name. So do we need to report this here in US and how it can be handled?
Okay, so when you have a real estate outside the US and it's not rented, it's vacant, it's a plot or land or whatever, you don't have to list that asset anywhere on any forms on the US tax returns or 8938 or FATCA form. The reason for that is it's not a liquid fund and financial asset. It's a real estate. It's more in the form of illiquid asset. So you don't have to report it anywhere. But remember, you have to always keep document relating to purchase of those asset, because when you sell it, of course you have to report. You have to report the cost and everything, and compute the capital gains and pay the taxes in both the countries. Just keep the proper record of those money being used for buying that land. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We have another caller here. Let me take this call. Good evening, this is Sanjiv Gupta CPA. Good evening, this is Sanjiv Gupta CPA. I think we lost the call here. So I was talking about the incorporation of these businesses as Corp and LLCs in Delaware. So it's important that when you are residing in a particular state, you should always form the entity in the state in which you're residing. Now, people will be saying, oh, I'm in California. I don't want to pay California taxes. I want to avoid this $800 franchise tax and also the California taxes on the profit, which you must know that California is taxing on the profit in case of S corporation. In case of LLC, it pass on to the personal, but in case of S corporation, C corporation, there's a tax. So you want to avoid that tax. So why should I pay that the taxes? And I'm paying California 13% tax. Why can't we avoid that by doing this? Delaware, Florida, Wyoming, Nevada, Washington, all this incorporation. The answer to that question is, no matter, you can form the entity in those states, but since you're a resident of California, California will still come after $800 and still come after all the taxes on the income that you earned in it, and then earned in the California because you're a California resident. They will come not now. They will come years later. I've seen one of my client brought a letter from Franchise Tax Board for 2009 tax return. They were looking for LLC return for 2009, not even 12, not even 13, not even 17, 2009. They sent a notice now. See how these things are working, because the meters are running, right? They need to make money. $800 cumulative from that year till now, you can see, will become $8,000. That's how these people make money. That's how we have to make sure that we don't do all those unnecessary stuff, and we make the payment on time so that we can avoid all those penalties and interest. That's unnecessary fees that we pay in addition to taxes. So if you are in California resident, form a California company. It can be S corporation, it can be LLC. Forget the dreams about setting up a company in Delaware. No use. In fact, if you form a company in Delaware, you have to file annual return with Delaware online by March 1st, and you have to pay the Delaware fees and also the registered agent fees as well. So, of course, if you are, you can set up there. If you, like I said, if you are looking for investors and going big, or a startup company or a foreign entity, yes, it makes sense. Now, when it comes to the basis calculation, a lot of people get lost when I talk about basis. Now, basis means what? So basis is, if you're buying a stock of a company, let's say ABC in stock market, which at market value, which is, let's say, is $10, and you buy that one stock of ABC at $10, the basis is $10. Now, if the stock of ABC goes up to $15 and you sell it at $15, so that's $15 is your gain, is your selling price, and your basis is $10, so you have a $5 gain. So basis is the same way it works for the S Corp and LLCs. Now, when you have an S Corporation, the basis means your investment plus your earnings so far, minus any withdrawals that you've done so far, plus any tax-exempt interest or tax-exempt income that you have so far. So the way it calculates is basis is equal to all those which I just told you. And from that basis, we don't include the loan, the liabilities taken by the corporation from outside. Whereas in case of LLC, the basis includes the loan and liability taken from outside. So it's a very important distinction. So if you're looking to do a business which involves money being given by the outside third party, maybe financial institutions or investors, and you want to show them as loans, and you want to create a basis which can allow you to deduct it from the selling price so that you end up paying less taxes, then LLC is the best way. Don't do S corporation. If you're looking to do S corporation, then the basis will not include that. So you lose that at the time of selling the entity. It is important distinction you have to keep in mind. That's why never put real estate in S corporation, because real estate you have to get mortgage right from outside. So why you not necessarily put in S corp? You can have an LLC own the real estate, while the S corporation can be used to run the business. That's how it works out the maximum benefit for each and everything. So you need to connect with a CPA and tax professional who can really know the insight of how to maximize the benefit with two entities simultaneously. Now, when it comes to PPP, we talked about PPP. I've been talking about PPP and ERC for some time now. California, when it comes to California, and you're doing the forgiveness for PPP 1 and 2, remember the Californians do say that the expenses that you use from PPP money will be allowed as a deduction on the tax year 2020, provided there's a decline in revenue by more than 25% in any one quarter as compared to any one quarter of 2020 as compared to any one quarter of 2019. So there's a decline in revenue by 25%. If there's no decline in revenue by that 25%, then you cannot deduct expenses. That means your California profit will be higher than the federal profit. That means you're going to pay California taxes first on the corporate level, and then when in case of S corporation, it flows to your personal, and then you pay the income tax on that one as well. What about the LLC? The profit will be increased and flows on the K1. K1 is a share of profit or loss from the business and goes to your personal. Listeners, if you have a question, a tax question, it's the time to connect with me. This is Sanjiv Gupta CPA giving you the show every Wednesday, 6:30 to 7. My website is sanjivcpa.com, SANGIV-CPA.com. If you have any questions, you can connect with me on air right now. We have a few minutes remaining for the show. Studio lines are open. Studio number is 408-912-5038. 408-912-5038. So you understand, you did understand about the state in which needs to form the entity, and also I talked about the basis calculation, which are important when you start a business in particular entity. We also talked about the PPP from the California point of view, how the things changes. Now I'm going to talk about a little bit about the retirement plans, 401k. Which plans are there for entities, business entities? It makes a lot of difference. By the way, this is a big topic that I like to discuss in detail. Maybe I will do something this time, and next Wednesday it will cover more detail about which plans are better for whether it's S corporation or LLC, sole proprietor plans. By the way, when you do in a 401k plan, 401k plan, when you are on W-2, you can put only $18,500 or $19,000, which are indexed to inflation every year, $500. So that's the maximum you can put in. But when you run a business, you can put more money, up to $57,000. And again, that amount gets increased up, is indexed every year. And if your husband and wife together running a business, you can double it twice. So that means 57,000 is the maximum amount you can put in. Times 2 is $114,000 you can put in that 401k plan. So while you're in a job, you can do only 18,000. You can put here about $114,000. So that makes a big difference how the profit is sheltered in those entities. We're going to talk about this in more detail in the next show. Every Wednesday, I come on air 6:30 to 7. And like I said, when I started the show, be careful. Delta variant is there. We know how it affected India, and it's how it affecting all the world around. Just keep putting your mask, have safe distances, and do take care while going out, traveling, and visiting friends, having lunch or dinner. So just be careful with that. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in today to Dollars and Cents, hosted by Sanjiv Gupta CPA. Tune in next Wednesday and every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. If you have any questions about the program or its related topics, you can get in touch directly with Sanjiv Gupta CPA by calling 510-825-7563. That's 510-825-7563 or visit sanjivcpa.com.
If your business has made a lot of profit and you are looking for ways to substantially reduce your tax liabilities by taking the full benefits available under TCJA and the CARES Act, then set up a consultation appointment before the 2020 tax year runs out. Call Sanjiv Gupta CPA today at 510-825-7563. That's 510-825-7563 or visit sanjivcpa.com.
You're listening to the only 24/7 Desi music station in the Bay Area. Your connection to all things South Asia. Bolly 92.3 FM, the Bay Area's Bollywood station.
क्या आपको टांगों में या फिर पीठ का दर्द है तो इसके बारे में कुछ कीजिए। डॉक्टर जयमिश आपकी मदद कर सकते हैं। मिशन पेन ट्रीटमेंट सेंटर को फोन कीजिए फ्रीमॉन्ट और सैन होजे में 510-806-1425।
Are you good at programming? Do you want to get into the market immediately? Then Apex is the place to reach your goal. For details, visit apexconsultingservices.us or call 510-431-7670.
7860 Gateway Dublin, a gorgeous 3-bed 2.5-bath townhome in a secured gated community is now listed. Sunny and bright throughout with lots of brand new upgrades including remodeled kitchen and bathrooms. Park-like community with HOA amenities such as swimming pool, spa, clubhouse and more. With close proximity to Dublin schools, this will not last long. Contact listing agent Sunny Katav of Windermere Realty for a smooth house buying experience at 925-413-0269. That's 925-413-0269 or email at realtorsunny@gmail.com.
Timeless is the desire for flawless skin. From the age of Ayurveda, nature has always been a friend. Introducing Apsara Skincare, made with all natural ingredients for all skin types, bringing ancient wisdom into modern skincare. Inspired by Ayurveda, made in America. Visit apsaraskincare.com today. Go natural. It's good karma.
How do you get ahead in Silicon Valley? Learn the latest tech and regional best practices for your career. UCSC Silicon Valley offers hundreds of professional courses. H4 and F1 visas welcome. Qualify for OPT. Build the career you want. Learn more at ucsc-extension.edu. ucsc-extension.edu.
Smile Savers Dental's state-of-the-art general dentistry practice specializing in cosmetic, general, and pediatric dentistry in Sunnyvale. Free exam and consultation for new patients. For details and to schedule your appointment, call 408-737-0101 or visit smilesaversdental.com.
If you're looking for a loan with no closing cost and a secure, no-hassle, 100% online application, RateBeat Mortgage beats almost all major banks and competitors by $1,000 on conforming loans and with average customer saving over $3,000. Call RateBeat Mortgage today at 877-877-7575. That's 877-877-7575 or visit ratebeat.com.
Terms and conditions may not apply to all applicants. All loans are subject to approval. RateBeat LLC, NMLS ID 1267188, and equal housing lender. Licensed in California, Texas, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Thank you for listening to Bali 92.3 FM. Specialty programs heard on Bali 92.3 FM are created by independent producers. Views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the staff, sponsors, or management of Bali 92.3